Hey, what's up, guys? I got a serious message here. Um, it's coincidentally atheism is unstoppable did a video on suicide, depression, and sadness, and
People wonder why the phrase is Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, because it's overtly, obviously racist. Yep. I wonder why. I wonder why all lives matter wouldn't be the cause. I wonder why, if you want to bitch and obsess about police abuse, why you wouldn't concern yourself with the abuse of all people. All people. It's like saying, I'm a humanitarian. No, I'm not. I'm a black humanitarian. I'm only concerned about the ethical, humane treatment of blacks. Oh, well, congratulations, sir. You're a racist. No, Devin, you don't understand. You see, our confirmation bias has led us to believe that cops only shoot black people. It's not that we don't cover stories where white people get shot, it just never happens. Because white supremacy, because slavery, because racism, all that, right? No, actually, twice as many white people get shot by cops. Twice as many. And you don't cover it because you don't care, because you defend slogans like Black Lives Matter. And the split second you want to talk about per capita, I'm more than happy. Oh, wrestle me with those numbers, big boy. I'm in the mud, and I got my stats, and I know what the fuck is going on. So when you tell me that cops disproportionately engage with blacks, there's a damn good reason for that. And it makes perfect sense. And then I'll tell you that guess who kills cops disproportionately? Over 40% of the time. Young black men. Imagine our collective surprise.
Look, there's 1,000 stories of the police taking people into custody without shooting them.
Oh, really? Just taking people into custody? Are those black people? Because surely there must be some black people who are taken into custody without being shot, because they fill our prisons. They are everywhere in our prison system, and rightfully so.
There's a guy who shot up the church in Charleston, killed 9 people in a church. They took him into custody and they got him Burger King afterwards.
And hold on, 1 second. We are 20 seconds in to his video, and we have a Dylan Roof sighting. Man, he is just throwing his ace up his sleeve on the table. Dylan Roof has reared his head. What does Dylan Roof have to do with this? Oh, right. Dylan Roof didn't get executed by the cops. That's not fair. Not fair. Now, is this not the most shameless act of cherry picking you've ever seen in your life? I'm going to teach you people about confirmation bias and just hammer the point home, just so everybody, just if you happen to have stumbled across this video and you don't understand what's going on, not just with this turd, this brown obese turd, but with everybody online today. In the information age, you know what it is? No, don't call it the information age. It's the confirmation bias age. Because we got video. Which video? Well, the video I've hand selected here. Oh, but that's just one video. Nope, I've got others. My confirmation bias allows me to cherry pick a multitude of videos and form whatever case I want to make. Well, that doesn't seem balanced or rational or logical or sane. Well, doesn't matter to me. I've got my story and I've got 10 videos to pump down your throat to make my case. The video doesn't lie. So is this the part where we cut to thousands upon thousands of videos of black people being detained, arrested, and not shot? Nope. Is this where we cut to videos of white people being gunned down, which has happened twice as much as blacks this year? Nope. Not seeing that. We're going to get a hand-selected, by the way, interesting that he went to Dylan Roof, a white supremacist. A racist white young man, troubled. Oh, he was troubled. So 20 seconds in, he goes straight to a white racist. I wonder where his head is at. I wonder if race is on the top of his mind. Brilliant. Oh, you didn't go to the DC sniper? You know, Lee Malvoy and Johnny Muhammad, whoever the other guy was? Remember those 2 black guys? One was Muslim. They were sniping up everybody. You know what happened to him? He was arrested, and he was not shot because he probably didn't resist arrest or reach for a gun or just not obey police orders. That's what happened. But you didn't go to the DC sniper, did you? You went to Dylan Roof. And the reason you did that is blisteringly obvious. And it outs you as being the fucking degenerate hack that you are.
There's a terrorist in New York and New Jersey. They just caught him.
Oh, and as far as Burger King, oh yeah, Dylan Roof ate like a king, sure. Yeah, it was just the good old boys. Yeah, man, I know Dylan Roof, you know, you killed a bunch of people and you're a monster, but What can I get you, man? You seem famished. You're my boy. Right? I wonder what we do to the millions of black prisoners that we've got. Do we feed them? Yeah, we do. We give them recreational activities, television, magazines, books. Oh man. And by the way, we don't just feed them one meal, which is equivalent to the Burger King. It is our obligation to feed them for a lifetime on our dime. But you're not going to mention that. No, you're going to try to imply that the police who arrested Dylan Roof somehow were down with him or were giving him special treatment. That is fucking absurd, you tub of brown shit. And by the way, shit is brown and this man's skin is brown. So you do the math.
I don't want the guy in the Charleston shooting to get shot on sight. I don't want the terrorist to get shot, even though he's a terrorist and he did the bombings right next to my family and friends. I want us to be America.
Thanks, Cenk. I'm in favor of America. We talk about that all the time. This is America, where we don't use guns and we don't bomb anybody. We're pacifistic tubs of poop. Nobody shoot anybody. Well, okay, Genk, you're the best Monday morning quarterbacking cop ever. Why don't you get your fat, brown, buffalo bitch ass and you roam the streets and you walk that beat. And then when a guy doesn't obey your authority and starts walking away from you and reaching, oh, he's reaching. I wonder how long you'll last. I wonder what's going to happen to you. Oh, you might have a different perspective. Oh, yeah, you might.
And I want us to be better than the terrorists, better than the mass shooters.
Well, you know who's better than us? Oh, the regressives. Anna Kasparian. I'm better than you. I'm fucking better than you. Much better than you. And this turkey neck douche definitely thinks he's better than you. Know that. Know that this fat fuck has had a chip on his shoulder ever since he was that monstrous goblin-like goober from his youth who failed with women in bizarre ways, rejected constantly. But no, he's got views and subscribers. Oh, he's a big name, so like, I'm better than you.
All those guys, okay, hey, we found a way to take them alive. But when it comes to an innocent, unarmed black man in the middle of Tulsa, Oklahoma, we just can't find a way to cuff him.
Interesting. Okay, so how do you account for the fact that there are millions, over the past 100 years, millions of black people who were arrested and not killed? I mean, already we're down the path of confirmation bias. He doesn't want to talk about the individual details, the things that led each case to whatever outcome it had. No, he says, no, it's a black guy. The reason is because he's black. So not judging somebody on the content of their character or their actions. No, he's judging you on your skin. He sees this case in black and white. The name of the video, Black Man with Hands Up, Executed by Turk. Black Man with Hands Up, Executed by Tulsa Police. It's shocking he didn't say by a white Tulsa police officer. So what does him being black have to do with it? Black man with hands up? It wasn't the fact that he had his hands up that was instrumental in any of this. It was the fact that he reached inside of his car, a car he shouldn't have been next to. It's the fact that he ignored the police officer's commands consistently for 10 to 15 seconds. Stop, stop, get on the ground, get on your knees. Stop, sir, don't do it, stop. And this douchebag moron did not obey the police officer. Like a fucking idiot. He walks to his car and reaches. But that doesn't make the title. No, what makes the title is he had his hands up. Oh yeah, momentarily they were up, before they were in his pockets. And he was acting suspicious and like he wasn't all there. Oh, we could wait for the toxicology reports, but nah. We got the relevant facts. He was black, she was white, end of story. I got my story. My story is fuck white people. White people are racists. So the fact that he's black and the fact that he had his hands up means dick. Nothing. What was relevant is he was resisting arrest, more specifically resisting the explicit orders of a police officer who had their gun drawn and pointed at him. And like a true candidate for a Darwin Award, he decided to ignore that. Nah. Not having it. I'm going to stroll over here. Yeah, just moseying on over to the car. I'm going to reach in here. Oh, God, I got shot. What up?
Even though he did nothing wrong, boom, 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 we're going to shoot him and we're going to kill him.
Excuse me, sir. He did do something wrong. For starters, he was black. See, that's a joke from me. That's what he wanted me to say. That's the only argument these people have. if you're a Klan member who's just executing blacks. That's what they said. They called this an execution. Genk, here's what he did wrong. He didn't comply with police orders, direct, repeated police orders to stop and get on the ground. Did not do that and totally disrespected their authority and inflamed the situation. Brought this to where it went. He brought it. How many times does it have to be explained to people when a police officer who doesn't know you, doesn't know what you're about, what threat you pose, tells you to do something in order to assure themselves that they are not in a life-threatening situation? It is your responsibility to comply and not be a total mongoloid idiot. Take your hands out of your pockets. Answer their questions. Act normal. If they tell you not to walk somewhere, do not walk to that place. If they say it again and they have their gun drawn, you definitely should not walk, okay? What kind of moronic dipshit would not comply with that verbal command? It is so scandalous. And Genk says, he did nothing wrong. He was a church-going guy. He was a father. He had 4 kids. What does that have to do with any of this? Nothing. But yet we see the narrative get pumped out. Innocent black man, hands up, don't shoot. How about don't reach, comply with orders? Does that not have a ring to it? Can we not chant that?
So you're going to see the video for yourselves right now. It's Terrence Crutcher. He's 40 years old.
Tamir Rice was 12. He was 12.
And he is a father, he sings at his local church.
And the cop was a mother, and she sings in the shower.
He doesn't have to. He doesn't have to be proven innocent.
But you know what he has to do? Comply with police orders. That's what he's got to do.
He didn't do anything wrong.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
His car stalled in the middle of the highway. Has your car ever stalled in the middle of the highway?
Not relevant at all to the story. His car started. It's like saying he had Cheerios for breakfast that morning. Okay, thank you. And I guarantee you, people are going to say, black people in this country, they don't deserve to die or be executed for having their car stall. Yeah, there's a little bit in between that you're leaving out. A couple things happened in between. It's like saying Saddam Hussein didn't deserve to be hanged for having a mustache.
It happened to me once, but I didn't get shot. You probably didn't get shot. But he's a black man in America, so he's going to get a different scenario.
Oh, I see. So you didn't get shot. Anecdotal evidence for the win. Yes, Genk, you didn't get shot probably because you weren't black. That's what by the way, I'm not exaggerating. That's the case he just made to you. If Genk was black, he would have been shot. Well, what happened? What, you got pulled over? What happened? You were speeding? Illegal U-turn? Okay, did you act in a normal fashion? Did you act in such a curious and suspicious manner to the point where it made the cop draw her weapon? And then did you refuse to obey the commands of a cop over and over again? And then did you reach for something? Oh, you didn't do any of that. Oh, okay. But I'm sure it's a racial thing though, right? Isn't it amazing when a white guy gets shot by cops, it's nothing to do with race? Nothing at all. And therefore, it does not interest them. They won't cover a story of a cop shooting a white guy because they don't have that juicy racism narrative. Oh no, in that case, we'd actually have to see the details and, oh, what happened? He reached, there was probable cause and he was not following the orders. Oh, okay, well then that's probably why he got shot. No, in this case, it was a black man. And that triggers him to go on his fuck white people rant.
So let's look, if you can stomach it, I'm going to show you the videos.
Your stomach is fat.
He's going to get shot here, and yes, he dies. So I'm giving you that as a warning.
Trigger warning.
Let's look at the first video.
I'm gonna hit the recorder.
And once again, we start halfway through. We start at the point where it's gonna make the cops look real bad. Oh, I'm sure they just pulled over, got out, and just now we're here. Jump cut to right now. We're not gonna see the stuff before. I wonder if that footage will come out. Him rolling around, him hands in his pockets, acting suspicious. Was he on drugs? I don't know. Do we know the details of this? No. Maybe he wasn't. Maybe he was just acting like an idiot and decided to not. Why? I mean, ask yourself this. Why did he not stop? Why? What was he doing? You walk into your car. You must know the officer has no idea what you're doing. And if you spit in the face of their direct orders, then you have a confrontation. Okay, they are now extra on guard, and they have every reason to believe that you're up to something bad.
This guy's still walking and following commands.
Time for Taser, I think.
What did you just say? Oh, that guy's got a thick accent. I'm not sure where that voice is coming from. The voice seems to be from somebody watching these events. It could be from the helicopter. I'm not sure. Because you're not hearing background noise and he doesn't seem to be, you're not hearing the other voices of the officers. So, but he says in his Texas slang, not slang, his drawl, he says, time for a taser, I think. Time for a taser, I think. And I think it's true. Yeah, time for a taser. One of the guys does taser him. In fact, I believe the taser goes off first, and that triggers or freaked out the woman who then shot. So he was reaching into a window. That's the report. That's what they say. Taser goes off, bullet goes off. He gets clipped in the lung, bleeds to death. Now, let me just speed through the caveats. It's a tragedy. He's dead. Do not try to bring up death and do not interview his children. We're aware that when a human life is lost, it's a tragedy. Not the point. In this case, I believe a taser would have been the necessary thing. The woman had her gun drawn because she had reason to believe this guy was armed. And he was not complying with her orders, and she was alone. She was the first on the scene. So she had her weapon drawn. And apparently she got spooked because if the taser went off before and then she fired, it was like bang, bang. What? She squeezed the trigger. And by the way, even if you are going to squeeze a trigger on a guy who's reaching for something, if you think your life is in peril, that's understandable. I would prefer a shot to the leg. I mean, they do that in action movies. The cops don't seem to do that. I know they're trained to shoot to the body and the head, or probably more the body. They're not clipping dudes with headshots. But the chance of survival to a leg shot is far greater. And it sends the message. Now, it might not incapacitate them. They would come back with saying, look, it's a snap decision. You're in the moment. If the guy is reaching for a gun, he's obviously not following my commands, and that is highly suspicious. I have to assume he's going for a weapon now. And that makes a lot of sense. But if you're trying to shoot legs and the guy's reaching for a gun, guess what? He's not going to be stopped with a mere leg shot. And so while it might send a message, and even if it wasn't necessary, even if it was a case of this guy's just being a total idiot, he has no gun in the car, he is a church-going family guy, whatever the case, he has a bullet wound in the leg versus he's dead. So that is what I would prefer. But the officer with the taser did the right thing. Okay, he's not complying here. We must bring this man down. We don't know what the hell he's up to. So he tased him. And the guy you hear on the audio, listen to it again.
And following commands.
Time for a taser, I think.
And following commands.
Time for a taser, I think. Time for a taser, I think.
Yeah, he's not following commands, and so it's time for a taser, I think. I want you to hear that again. Time for a taser, I think.
Time for a taser, I think.
I wonder if I was a racist, brown, fat, thick-necked, bug-eyed, pubic-haired buffalo fuck. I wonder what I would think that guy said. I wonder what my racist confirmation bias, my vitriol and hatred of white people, what would that lead me to believe he said? He said, time for a taser, I think. I wonder what Genk thinks he said. Huh.
That's got a feeling that's about to happen.
That looks like a bad dude, too. To be honest with you.
Right. It looks like a bad dude, too. Might be on something. And when a guy is acting erratically and like a crazy person and not following orders that any sane, rational person would, then you have to think, well, maybe he's on something. Maybe he's on drugs. And that might explain why he's behaving in such an erratic, stupid way.
Police 1, they're facing westbound. I think he may have just been tasered.
Shots fired!
Okay, so they thought it was a tase job and that he had been put to the ground, but then the woman comes in, shots fired! She was in the moment, she had no idea why the guy was reaching, and she freaked and panicked.
321, we have shots fired. We have one suspect down. We need to MC here.
They need to get this eastbound closed down if they could, because they're not going to be able to let anybody.
Okay.
That looks like a bad dude. Really? To me, it looks like a guy stuck in the middle of the road with his hands up in the air.
You fucking moron. His hands up in the air. He's still walking to his car and reaching inside his car. It's a good dude. Did nothing wrong. No, he did do something wrong. The guy acts like if you could put your hands up, nothing else matters. And nothing else matters. It's like, oh, you're Hitler and you're gassing Jews? Well, if you put your hands up in the air, then it's not so big of a deal. I mean, the Nazis put one hand up in the air all the time, but not two. Not two. Were they reaching? So yeah, just ignore police commands for 15 seconds. Walk over to your car and reach in for something. He didn't do anything. Well, this poor innocent black guy.
But they see a black man in America And that dude looks dangerous. He's probably on something. Why?
Why, Jank? Let me answer it for you, because they're observing his behavior. If you had played the video before that, by the way, you don't have the audio. You don't even know what was being said. And you don't listen to what the cops said happened. You're not even giving their side of the story. You have no sides of the story. We're not going to hear from the black dude because he's dead. All you're looking at is a video with zero audio. All you're hearing is the police audio, not the audio on the ground. You don't know what was said before. You're not commenting on the fact that he was acting suspiciously. And it was his behavior that led them to believe he might be on drugs. He's not complying. He's walking to his car. It wasn't, he's a black guy. Wow, probably he's the enemy. Looks like a bad guy. No, it was what he did. Content of character. His behavioral pattern, not the color of his skin, you race-baiting horse-toothed jackass.
He's a 40-year-old guy. He's got kids at home.
Oh, Tamir Rice is 12. He has kids. Oh, God, the kids. Somebody think of the kids. He's 40. Come on, people. 40-year-olds can't reach for guns. We know that.
Why is he dangerous? Why is he dangerous?
Because he's not complying with police order. Am I a broken record? He's dangerous because he is intentionally creating this situation. He understands English. He knows what that woman was saying. He decided to ignore it and to walk over to his car and reach in. He had his hands up. He knew there were guns pointed at him. Didn't stop him. Did not stop him.
Okay, you're going to tell me that if that's a blonde woman in the middle of the street with a stalled car, they're going to shoot her?
Ignorant, race-baiting, race-hustling cunt. If it's a blonde woman and she acted like that, yes, she could be shot too. Oh, do blonde women pose a threat to society? Are they as dangerous? Do they have guns as often as black men do? No. No, they don't. Should we factor that in? Yes. You bet your fat brown ass we should. But if a blonde woman acts a certain way and fails to comply with police orders, then she's going to put herself in the same dangerous situation. Yep, the same one. In fact, there was a young girl from Indiana, teenager, white girl. She had a fake gun, went and robbed a store, some liquor store. Cops came. She pointed her gun at them. She got shot and killed. But Devin, she was a white girl. She was blonde. Yep, she was. And based on her behavior, she's now dead. And this guy, based on his behavior, is now dead. Not the color of his skin, you grotesque, ugly douche.
When she's got her hands up.
Oh, the hands up is the thing. It wasn't the walking to the car thing and reaching into the car. It wasn't that. It was the hands up. Oh, okay.
You really believe that? There's not a single person in the country that actually believes that. I don't care how hard right-wing you are. That's a 19-year-old blonde girl. You know they're not going to shoot her. 19? Ooh, the age comes in. Interesting. 19-year-old? What does that have to do with anything? First of all, what point is he trying to prove? I mean, this is so retarded. It's so retarded on so many levels. But if you're trying to say this is about race, why didn't you say if that was a 40-year-old white man, he wouldn't have been shot? No, instead you switched genders and you made her 19. What is that? So you're saying that a cheerleader with blonde hair and it's in a ponytail and she has big tits and she's 19 and she's wearing, what is that? What are you trying to prove? Yes, Jank, white people get shot all the time based on their behavior. In fact, twice as many times white people have been shot and killed by cops. Where does that stat fit into this? Where? You know it for a fact.
Oh God, look how angry. You know for a fact. Ugh.
That's an 87-year-old white grandmother. You think they're going to shoot her with her hands up?
We're just jumping all over the spectrum. An 87-year-old. Yeah, how many 87-year-old black grandmothers are getting blasted? None. But no, yeah, it's so unfair, you guys. Why can't there be more 87-year-old white grandmothers getting shot? At least that would even it out. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying nobody should be shot. I don't want the 87-year-old white grandmother. I don't want the black man reaching for something inside of his car after ignoring police commands.
No, you think there's going to be a guy somewhere going, that looks like a bad dude?
Yeah, and you know what he said instantly after that? That looks like a bad dude might be on something. In other words, the fact that his behavior suggests that he might be a drug user demands that we treat him with high caution. Warning, Will Robinson, warning.
What did he say? He said they need to taser that thing. I mean, that's the least of the problems. Most of the problem is that they shot him.
And we have reached gold. There's gold in them there quotes. Excuse me, you fat, disgraceful fuck. Could you repeat what you just said? What do you think that cop said?
What did he say? He said they need to taser that thing. I mean, that's the least of the problems. Most of the problem is that they shot him.
You know what's great about this? He looked down at his paper. He wrote this down. They need to taser that thing? They need to taser that thing? Oh! Okay, so let's just get the obvious out of the way. Jenk, he said, time to taser, I think. Time to taser, I think. I doth suggest. Time to taser, I think. Not time to taser that thing. Now, this is disgraceful that this bloated shitbag once again assumes that white people dehumanize blacks. Oh, because as you know, white people are racist. Fuck whites. That is the software on his brain, so he listens for shit like this. He wants him to have said that thing. Time to taser that thing. Now, he is an ignorant dick for not cross-checking this, for not making sure. How about replaying the audio? How many times did you listen to this? Nobody at TYT called him out, not the janitor, not the intern, not any of his yes men, and said, Genk, before you disgrace yourself in front of millions, you might want to know that he said, time to taser, I think, and not time to taser that thing. Just looking out for you. I wonder if Genk has ever done something like this before.
But let's note there that she said these protesters, they're not people. The point of Black Lives Matter is to get people to realize that black people are also people.
You monkey-ass fat abomination that has been compiled by other fat abominations. Fucking crazy. Somebody sent me a link and said, Devin, you're never going to believe what Jenk said. And you're right, I did not believe this. She did not say they're not people. She said they're not peaceful, you fucking whale. First of all, where is your mind at? The context of what she was saying was talking about violence. She says these people are thugs. They are rioters. They're not peaceful. They actually exhibit violence. And you took from that she said they're not people? I mean, what an insight into his brain. Listen back to it.
I'm calling out the media saying, quit claiming that these rioters are peaceful. They're stomping on a flag, figuratively and literally, shouting death to cops, celebrating violence. It's
claiming that these rioters are peaceful. What would make you think she said claiming these rioters were people? Yes, she's got a weird accent and talks in a funny way, but don't you think that doesn't make sense? Why would somebody say these rioters are not people? In Genk's mind, he thinks white people, especially conservative white people, think that way. He thinks that Sarah Palin is just getting up in public saying, these Black Lives Matter people are not people. They're not even human. They're subhuman. Yeah, so why don't you tap the brakes on your race baiting and on your completely transparent hatred of whites? You have no fucking clue what you're talking about. And all you do is burp up confirmation bias ad nauseum. And I am nauseous. Devin, it's actually nauseous. Nauseous is, I've looked it up on Google. So let me leave you with a little public service announcement about confirmation bias that this grotesque whale engages in all the time. It's the reason you're seeing this story, okay? It's the reason he thinks that cop said, time to tase that thing. It's the reason he thinks Sarah Palin says they're not even people. And it's the reason you're seeing yet another hand-selected story of a black guy getting shot. Not a black guy shooting, getting shot. The big bad wolf of this situation, the guy pulling the levers, the Wizard of Oz guy, is the editor. It's the person who chooses what he wants to show you. Therein lies the racism and the bigotry and the agenda and the propaganda. It is not an accident, the videos that they show you. There is a hideous, erroneous narrative that they trot out and seek to trot out every chance they can. Why is it that my 5 main talking points for the regressives, look at it, fuck white people are racist, and fuck the cops. Ooh, amazing, what if you could double up, double dip that shit? What if the cop is white? Beautiful, let's do a video on that. Guess what else you're not going to see a story of? The story of some black guy and a woman, and he said this.
I heard he was sitting in the car waiting for his son.
Yeah, he was waiting on his son to get from school, and the jump out police came out with he didn't have on no uniform to to determine he was a police or not. He was an undercover. He just jumped out and yelled gun and shot at him. I think he shot him 4 times. I'm not sure, but he's dead. So.
What do you know? I don't. Guys, is there anything we should know? No.
You just know that all white people are fucking devils.
And make sure you air that one.
Air that shit.
Now. Don't take that
all
one.
White cops are fucking devils and white people. Y'all are fucking devils.
Oh, are we going to see the white devil story? No. I'm going to make an editorial decision not to show you that. I don't want to show you blatant racism towards whites. What's the point of that? I mean, the whites have power. The whites aren't helpless. They can defend themselves. In fact, fuck the whites. Yes, they are devils. Fuck them. No, it's the blacks who need my brown help. The blacks have no agency. The blacks are always victims. The blacks they didn't do nothing wrong. Didn't do nothing. He complied with orders. He didn't reach. No. He didn't act suspicious. No. None of that. Genk, we're onto you. The fucking world is onto you. Nobody's buying it. And as you stoke up more hatred towards whites and cops, and literally increase the chance that there will be racial violence and bloodshed in the future, know the part you played in it, fat ass.